Welcome to my live call tonight with a question. How should I get someone from a different company, someone that's in a company, to come over and join mine? How would you do that, or should you do that? And for those of you that do not know me, I've been involved in network marketing now for 40 years, share a lot of what I've learned in 40 years in my journey on these live calls. So when I began full-time, before, it was 27 years ago, and that was by selling a junk truck, putting $200 into my business, and that was 27 years ago. I've been full-time ever since. Topic was based on somebody's question, and that's what I always try to do. Prashant in India, nice to see you. Olenia from Tennessee, nice to see you. And who else have we got joining tonight that I can acknowledge here, who's not being shy? I hope everyone's having a great day today. Now we're getting ready to go in the weekend, but you say it's no big deal. We're home all the time anyway. Well, maybe it's Saturday every day, right? Hey, Jenny, North Carolina, how are you? Good to see you on the call. Gary in Manila, Philippines. So how are you handling the quarantine? Good morning there in the Philippines. Hope you're doing okay and enduring all that. Lisa in Connecticut, nice to see you. How are you? Nice to see you again as well. And who else have we got? Debbie in Alberta, Canada. How are you doing there, Debbie? I hope things are warming up and spring is, at least chasing out the cold weather. Micah is with us. Hey, Micah. And George in New York City, how are you doing? Good to see you, George. Good to see you tonight, this Friday night. Before I get in this, I was going to say, I got a message from my good friend Gordon Hester, and he was telling me that the FTC is going after total life changes on claims that they're making. He sent me over the letter, the actual letter that the Federal Trade Commission sent out to total life changes. Actually, they're going out to a lot of companies right now, making claims. So again, protect your opportunity by not using your Facebook profile pages to make claims. They watch these things. Omar, how are you doing in New Jersey? And Anna in Florida, nice to see you. That's the thing you don't want to do. Believe me, the FTC works from home too. So they watch. Susanna, nice to see you. You don't want your company getting one of those letters just because you posted something on your Facebook profile page. And what good does it do it anyway? Nobody really pays attention to any of it. Anyways, and Sogi from Texas, nice to see you. Mark in Huntsville, Alabama. How's Huntsville, Alabama doing in the quarantine? So, I want to, and Leah, nice to see you. And I believe, I don't know where that is, Pembroke Pines. I don't know where that is. Lupita, nice to see you. Rosia, nice to see you. How are you doing? Good to see you. And, doing, ¿cómo está, Rosia? Doing fine. Doing great, man. I'm busy every day. It's really the truth. Around this property here, I'm a fanatic when it comes to, having these gardens, our flower gardens, everything right, So, and fortunately, I've got people that are working outside so that they can help me get all this accomplished. Vivian, nice to see you. Ari, nice to see you in the Philippines. Vivian in Paraguay, ¿cómo está? Carlos Rocha, Barcelona, Spain. Man, you're up late. Go to bed, man. Good to see you. And Nomi, nice to see you also in the Philippines. And Abel, nice to see you in Texas. Good to see you as well. And then Rafael, ¿cómo está? All of you, my friends. By the way, my book, Reaching the Peak, will be out in Spanish next month. So I'm excited about it. We vigorously worked on a very solid Spanish translation for that book. A lot of Spanish are in network marketing. So that's a book that you'd want to connect that to any Spanish leaders that you have in your group. And Dale Horton, nice to see you. Andrina in Texas, nice to see you, Andrina. Very cute pictures of your daughter that you put up. So why don't we get right into it? David Peters asks a question. What is the best way to promote the video or the tool that sells the business? I'll tell you the best way to do that. Again, the question, I'll repeat that, is what is the best way to promote the video or the tool that sells the business or sells your opportunity? How you doing, Judy? And the best way to do that is the invitation. The first thing to do is the invitation. That's proper protocol, proper manners in network marketing. Don't you hate it when you go to your Facebook Messenger, when you wake up in the morning, you're having a cup of coffee, and you go to Messenger to see if you got any messages, and yes, you got a message from this person and that person, and all they do is send a link. They just send the link. What am I supposed to do with it? I mean, they think I'm just going to look at it, right? And I mean, what am I supposed to do? I didn't ask for this video. And they didn't ask me to look at the video. So we're talking about, proper protocol here. So the best thing to do is, first of all, step one is the invitation. The invitation is not the presentation. The invitation is an invite. Hey, I have something I'd like to show you. It may or may not be for you. I just want to see if you're open to it. And if you are, I'd like to send you over a video. And if they say, what's it about? The invitation is not the presentation. You never tell them what it's about. Why? Mostly it violates the principle of duplication. The reason why the video was created was so that you wouldn't do the presentation. Why? Because you're not so good? No, you can be great. You can be phenomenal. But here's the thing we have to understand. When you're talking, they're visualizing. When they're looking at a video, they're not visualizing. The video is the visualization. And that's what you want to get them to buy into, is the visual journey that the video is taking them down a path. But see, for me or you to do it, then I have to just hope they're not having the wrong I can't even say it, visualization. I can't even say it tonight. It's been a long day. So to visualize, there we go. Well, they need to have the right path, the right journey. So if I'm talking to somebody about it and about my company, and then they start thinking, oh wow, let me see. That's one of those things you have to put lots of money into. People have lost money, blah blah blah. See, they're thinking, there's no telling where their mind is going. But see, a video controls the journey. So I don't want them visualizing the wrong thing. So step one, is the invitation. You just want to see if they're open to looking at your opportunity. That's all you want to, and when they say, what's it about? Here's what you do when they say, what's it about? You simply say, you know what, John, I could try to explain it, but really it's better that you see it, because the video is going to do a much better job than me trying to explain it. So is this a good time? Do you have 10 minutes now? Now, this is important. Back to the question, what is the best way to promote the video or the tool that sells the business? The best way to do it is don't explain it. When you explain it, you violated duplication. See, that's the reason why the video was created, so you wouldn't present. Let the video present, okay? And so when they say, what's it about, then you can just say that. You can just simply say, I wouldn't even do it justice, John, if I tried to explain it. Video does a much better job. Now, that's when you need to say, is this a good time to look at the video? If it's a 10-minute video, 12-minute video, whatever. Hopefully not too long. I mean, some people they still have these hour-and-a-half presentations. No one's going to, you're not going to, even Facebook considers a view if it's 3 seconds long, okay? So people have much shorter attention spans, right? So if they say, yeah, this is a good time, say, great, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to send it to you, and I'll call you back in 15 minutes. Is that okay? Because I want to see what you like best about it. So that's the best way to handle that. Now, here's what you do when they don't do what they say they were going to do. You call John back, and John says, oh, wow, yeah. Something came up. I wasn't able to look at it. And then instead of, making him feel bad, just laugh, say, oh, that's okay. John, things happen. I have a family too. No big deal. Is it all settled? Are you good now? And if they say, well, yeah, but what's it all about? Say, John, you know what? Again, man, I wouldn't do it justice if I tried to explain it. The video is the best presentation. I just wouldn't serve you right if I tried to explain it. See, that's really important, because if you explain it, then you're actually asking John to explain it. Really, you can look at it that way, as a test. And so when you refuse to give into that and say, is this a good time? And can you do it now? And says, yeah, I can knock it out now. Okay, awesome. I'll call you back in 15 minutes. And that's just what you do. You stick with that. Really, this makes what we do so easy when we do it this way. It really does. Because the video is going to do the work. And then when you call back, then you simply say, what did you like best about it? And those are the steps you need to take. Now, if they say, oh, I can't look at it until tomorrow? Oh, okay, all right. Well, what time is good for you tomorrow? What time do you think you'll have time? Probably 10 in the morning. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll text you at 10 in the morning. If that's still the right time, then I'm going to send you the link. And the reason why you do that is you want to know when he saw the video. Because if you sent it that night, he might have looked at it that night. And who knows, he might have been tired. His attention span would have been short, something like that, But the thing is, you need to know when he looked at it. And right after he looked at it, that's when you need to do the follow-up, when it's fresh in mind. So that's the best way to handle that, David Peters, and I believe that's in Indiana. And Michael Lentz, I forgot where Michael's from. Are you in the house? So he says, how to react or what to do when leaders stop. And then he follows that up with the next sentence by saying, how much contact would be optimal with your leaders? Okay, so here's the thing. How to react or what to do when leaders stop. I think what it is, we don't need to panic. We don't need to panic. Some of your leaders are going to take breaks. They really are. I mean, sometimes they go through things in their own personal life and it affects their performance in your business. And we don't always see what that is, what people are going through. And, it's like one leader that I called the other day, and I was just hearing a couple of things, and I just gave him a call just to see how he's doing, and he says, well, it goes way back in my marriage. It goes back over 30 some years ago. I said, oh, okay, but are you okay? See, that's the thing. We just don't know what sometimes what our leaders are going through. And so here's the thing, be patient. Here's what I think you should do is always stay in touch, okay? Always stay in touch, Michael, with your leaders, because you don't know what they're going through. Always confirm their importance to you. Always edify them and make them feel special, because they are. They are special. But here's what I want you to do. Give them some space, and in the meantime, go build another team. And the reason why you want to build another team is you want to show that you are a focused leader, and you want to, because here's what the problem is. Sometimes it's not that they're going through something. It's just simply they are drowning you or taxing you, or what's the word? Sucking all the energy and marrow out of your bones, okay? And the best thing you can do is go get another team and make them jealous. Go get another team and make them jealous. In other words, and you're going to edify that new team in your Facebook group, maybe even in your posting on your profile page. It might even show you with them in a special place. That's sort of hard to do that now, but when this is over, right? Just show that, you've got some people that are really shining and doing it. Now, again, if you got some leaders, that are just going through some personal things in their life, it's not their fault, okay? I'm talking about ones that just won't get on with it, and they're not doing a lot. But sometimes the best, and I'll tell you the other thing. Here's the other thing that you can do, Michael, and I've done this many times. That let's just say that you have that leader that's on your first, maybe it's a personally enrolled leader on your front line, or they're on your second level, whatever. Drop down below somewhere in their line and find somebody that has the potential to being a really great leader and work with that person. The heat goes up. They see the change in the volume in their team, and now they're starting to wake up that, hey, you know what, I got to pull myself together. I need to get it together, and I really need to move on with this. The great thing about that is you supported that leader by working with people down below in their team. I've found that works. It really does. And it'll motivate them. As far as how much contact would be optimal with your leaders, well, I think you should have contact. Here's the thing. Some people feel like if they get too close, then it breeds the problem with familiarity. They become too familiar. And as a result, they, I guess, what's the word? The privilege of being so close to you is not such a privilege anymore. So to protect that, some leaders out there will maintain their distance so that that's not violated. And then that way they have some measure of influence, that they feel that they have some measure of influence over their leaders. And I think, I'm going to tell you, we're family. We're family, that's it. I remember one weekend I had, it was a married couple that came and stayed here with us. We're just friends. We met at Ray Higdon's Rank Makers event that we went to in Florida. And we became just good friends. And I said, hey, when you're in the area, you're welcome to stay over with us. Well, they did. And it's really funny. So they came over and spent time. And then I talked to them about their upline. Their upline was like at the top of their company. And I said, so have you ever been to their home? They said, no, they don't do that. Matter of fact, they don't really even get together with their leaders either. Now, those are the kind of people I talked about. They want to maintain that separation, that distance, so that people can never take advantage of them. But I find, listen, you treat your leaders like family is the best thing to do. But at the same time, like I said, the contact you have, if they're not moving, if it's not personal problems or things that they're getting, just sort of swallowed up by, if it's just plain laziness, go build another team, make them jealous. And then, of course, the classic question from Bren Coronado: what to say to people who say this is a pyramid? I think the best way, Ben, is just do the Forrest Gump thing. I always talk about Forrest Gump, don't I? And that is, act like you have no clue what they're even talking about. And then best thing to do, when someone says that, I'll say, oh, a pyramid. What do you mean by a pyramid? What's a pyramid? What do you mean? Let them explain it. We're not going to argue, right? And as they struggle to explain it, then you can simply ask them you can say one thing. I used to say years ago, would you like it if it was? And they said, no. Good, then you'll like what I got to say. If they say, yeah, awesome, man. And then I'll go on and say what I'm going to talk about anyway. Now, that was one way. But the most common way I handle it, when they ask that question, I'll say, well, would you please explain to me what's a pyramid? So I'm the Forrest Gump, don't have any clue, right? And then when they go on and try to explain, I say, oh, you mean like people where they put money in something and it's just all about money? Money's basically the product and they're making money? Yeah, like that. Oh, no. I would never do one of those. Never. No, what we do is we give a product and a service in exchange for money. Wouldn't that be the very definition of a legitimate business transaction? They have to say yes to that. If they don't, then move on, man. They're the most unreasonable person. But they'll say yes. It's sort of same as going into Walmart, right? You want something, you go in, you give them the money, they give you the product, okay? We do the same thing. And that's it. And then after they say that, say, well, would that be the kind of business that you'd be interested, especially if you only had to do it once? If you only had to do it once. See, Walmart's got to keep doing it. Over and over again. You got to get that person. All right. But here's the thing. But once you enroll somebody and they're buying direct, you're doing the work once. You brought them in the company, they're buying direct from the company. So you facilitated that. But now you get paid on that year after year after year. I know, because I've been getting paid 21 years now. And that's how it's worked for me. So Alfonso Davis said, what's the best way to build a business internationally, particularly China and other parts of the world? So again, since most of you guys are online, then there's certain apps that you want to always have on your smartphone. You'll want to have WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a very popular app. A lot of people use that. And so you can talk to people, you can text with people, there's even groups. The same would be true with an app called Line, L-I-N-E. That's mostly for Japan, Korea, over there. But you brought up China, so in China, you know, there's no question about it. The only app that you would really ever use would be WeChat. And so you'll see that the functionality on that app is much different, you know, than some of the other apps. But that app you want to have if you want to do business in China, because that's an approved app by China. You don't have Facebook in China, you know, so there's limitations there, and that's the reason why you need to have that app. Now, as far as how to build internationally, what you want to do, here's the thing, whatever country you are in, if you're in the United States, great. If you're in some other, there's a lot of Chinese in the United States. So the best thing to do if you want to build in China is find somebody in the United States. Why? Because most likely they speak English. And to sponsor that person would be the best way to do it, and then let them recruit back in their own country. And then if you're asked to speak, let's say on Zoom, and they do Zoom over there, okay, then they can translate. You need a translator. So, but if you train that leader good enough, you won't have to talk really that much, if at all, because that leader is going to do all the talking. So that's really the best way. And then decide on a video. I know my wife is Chinese, so she has her own video where she talks just about her, you know, her story, her life, and all that. And that was filmed in Taiwan. And she even asked me to be in that video, and I said, nope, I don't want to be in that video. I said, this is your story, not my story. This is your story. I don't want it to be about me. So anyway, but there's tools out there that you can use. So keep those thoughts in mind. And then here's what Lisa Baez, who inspired this the title tonight for this video. How do you answer this question to a leader? My prospect is already in an MLM and said that she cannot be in another MLM company because of the policies. How can I prospect this person? Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. First of all, if somebody is happy in the company that they are in, let them stay there. I don't want them. I don't want to make that person unhappy in order to come into my company, okay? So if they are happy, you can't get them anyway, nor should you, really. So that's number one. Now, that doesn't mean that, hey, it's not one of these deals like a guy goes up to, meets this beautiful girl, right? And oh my gosh, she's drop dead gorgeous. And she says, well, I'm married. And then he says, yeah, but are you happy? All right. Not like that, okay? The thing is, what you want to do is you want to see where their head is at with their company. If they are happy with that company, leave them alone. If they're not happy with that company, then what does it matter what their policies state? So, and I've done that through the years. I remember one time when I met a woman that was in another company. Someone asked me to help out, and this was when I was in Asia, and so what I did was, number one, you need to know what's going on with that company, okay? And so what I did was I did a little homework on that woman in that company, and then I came to find out they were not that strong. They were all doing okay, but not so great. In other words, their products were just sort of mediocre. I would say, pretty much a commodity type product. You could find it anywhere. And so what I did was I simply focused on what we had, what we were doing, what was so great about it, And then I reached out to see, I said, listen, here's the thing. Well, all I want you to know and understand is this thing's going to be big. It's going to be huge. It's going to be in every household in the world. My only question to you is, what percentage of the market do you want? And so it's like a jolt. It's like a jolt. And then, again, fear of loss. Now, if they're happy with their company, they're staying. If they're not happy with their company, and in this woman's case, she said, okay, I'll join. Okay. So, and I look at it like football in a way. You notice how Tom Brady is not with the Patriots anymore? What is up with that? He's with the Buccaneers. A Buccaneers uniform with a number 12 on it. How does that work? Okay, so it happens in football. Sometimes the players move around to different teams. And in network marketing, if the company is not strong enough to keep that person, that leader, and they feel like they have a better situation with you, then that's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. A lot of things can drive that. I spoke to one leader the other day who told me that their company's lead product was already several weeks behind, back ordered, several weeks behind. And, I was like, wow, who's your product manager? That's terrible. Things like that can happen. Other things can happen. Sometimes it's an upline. I remember a woman who was a top pin of another network marketing company, ready to leave. And guess what? She wasn't unhappy with her company at all. She liked her company. She hated her upline. Oh my gosh, they just went after her and trashed her, and because she did it differently. She wanted to do social media. And it was like, do it our way or we'll make sure you fail. It was that kind of a situation. It was crazy. It was, just, they were more interested in control than they were business. Isn't that crazy? So she said, well, I can't change lines, therefore I'll change companies. And that's what she did. So you just have to see how married they are. Excuse me. Boy, I tell you, in the Smokies here, we are having a lot of pollen. So, and Daniela, are you in the house? Anyway, she says, my question is, how can I show people we can do it when it's so hard even to me? Well, you know how it gets easier, Daniela? Doing it over and over again. How you create momentum is monotony. Doing it over and over again. Now, if we only do it now and then, present, prospect, yes, it's tormenting because we don't do it enough. I would say do it more, and the easier it's going to become for you. But I did have a follow-up question to you. Why is it hard? Or what's hard about it to you? So, that would be more helpful if you would tell me that. I'd like to know. So I'll wait to hear back from her on that. And then Eden, Eden in Colorado, and Eden, I know you're in the house. I also did a follow-up question to you. She asked, I would love to know how to stay organized with my follow-ups, but more so, I want to know how you do it. Well, here's the thing, Eden. I can remember, now I'm going to go back in the past, how I used to do follow-ups 21 years ago. I had this, these index card boxes. Okay, I would get an index card box and then index cards, and then I would get numbers 1 through 31, and then January through December. And I would put that in my box. I think that cost me maybe less than $5. And that was my follow-up system 21 years ago. I'm not saying you should, there's a principle here. And, but I'll tell you what, so when I call somebody, if it was just bad timing, I'd say, well, when's a better time to call you? They said, well, give me 2 weeks. Okay, fine. Then I would find, that date when I need to call them back, and I would pop that card. Let's say if it was the 21st of the month, that's exactly where that card would go. Now, every morning when I come into my office where I worked, I would just open up that index box. I would go to the date that it was that day and pull out the cards, lay them out. And those were the ones I was going to follow up with. I took notes, if they were married, what's the name of their children, anything in particular, challenges that they have, whatever it is, okay? Those were things I did. Now today, like my phone here, sometimes I'll use this, I'll just click and it'll ask me, what do you want? I'll say, schedule an appointment. And then I'll say the name of the person, call so-and-so. And so my phone's going to remind me on that. But at the same time, I have just my notes, and that is in my phone of people that I need to follow up on. So I keep it in my phone pretty much. I know, some people go, they're really into it in a big way because they're constantly on social media. I'm not one of those that's constantly on social media. I'm not doing that, really. But if I had to do it, I probably wouldn't do it any differently. So I hope that helps. Now let's go to, oh wow, Anna asked me a question in Spanish. Now, Anna, I don't know Spanish, okay? But I'm going to show everybody what happens when someone does that. So I'm going to go to my Google Translator and I'm going to put it in and it's going to tell me what she said. Okay, so she said, if we are going to do a Zoom presentation with several people, do we not need to send them a video directly to do the business first? Not necessarily. You can have a PowerPoint in your Zoom presentation if you would like to do that. And if you don't know how to do that, then it's pretty easy to learn how to do that. So, just learn it. But you can do your meetings right on Zoom if you want to do a PowerPoint presentation. And then George sent me something here. Let's see. So did you see how easy that translator was? And I'm telling you, friends, you can do that just about with any language. Those translators are incredible. Even some of my, I have 2 teams in South Korea, and that's how we talk a lot, is through that translator. I send them back a message in Korean, and I just love that translator. So, Eden says, I got 7 yeses, 3 nos, and several using our system. I love having a system that does most of the work for us. I definitely will follow. All right, very good. All right, so this is from Prashant in India. Prashant in India says, what's the best way we can promote use if Facebook for prospecting and building new members in business? Okay, all right, let me understand. So what's the best way we can use Facebook for prospecting and building new members? Okay, so the best way to use it is, again, don't have your profile page be a page where you're constantly talking about your products. Because just imagine if it's crazy, I got several flat screen TVs around this room, okay? But just imagine if I sat down to watch something and it's commercial, and I'm being patient, but it's another commercial, then it's another commercial. What am I going to do? I'm going to change channels. And what are people going to do if we post about products? They're going to keep scrolling. They're going, there they go again. Okay. So we don't want to use it that way. If anything, we just want to build curiosity by giving value. Again, you've heard me talk about mumbling, if you're in the gym, working out, you're talking about the workout that you're doing, what part of your body you're working out, saying, oh, by the way, I finally found a protein product that's meeting my needs and helping me get to my goals much quicker. If you haven't found a protein product that's doing that, just reach out to me. I'll help you out. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing this exercise with these weights, and you see, you change subject. And the person's going, what? What protein product? And then they're going to use Facebook Messenger and message you saying, hey, Prashant, we want to know what you're talking about. So mumbling is a good way to do that. It's a way to promote your product, and yet you're not talking about your company or your product. And that's the other thing. In your profile page, don't have in there what company you are with. Because what are they going to do? They're going to go right to Google. And is Google our ally or our enemy when it comes to network marketing? Enemy. They're always putting out negative stuff, about, I get it on Google News every day. Okay, so I want them talking to me about, hey, what is it you do, creating curiosity. But again, so then how do you attract people? Well, I know, Prashant, I've seen some of you do Facebook Lives. Now, you're doing it on your profile page. So that is free, which is fine. It's fine. If you want to do it on a business page, then that's a pay-to-play page. So that's something that you could do. There's different ways that you could use that page. For example, if let's just say that you want to have a free offer, and the reason why you want to do free offers is because, think about it, friends. If all of a sudden you didn't have a Facebook account, how are you going to reach the people that were in your network if you don't have their email addresses? So I would recommend, and it's not a bad idea, look for that coming from me very soon, where I'm going to be asking for that. But what you can do is you can make a free offer on your business page, and when they click for that free offer, it's going to take them to a page where they have to put in the email address to get your free offer. What's nice about that is you need to start building those email addresses so that you are regularly communicating out. You're sending emails out, and you're teaching on various things, and you're giving value, but you're driving those people closer to you. So don't rely just on Facebook to do that. You need to learn how to do that. And I see that value more and more every day. But that's one way to do it. Now, again, when you're putting value out on your Facebook page, you can target certain demographics. You can target people that follow Ray Higdon. You can target people that follow Jeff Outgilbert. You can target people that follow Eric Worre. You can target people who, it's endless, okay, who like network marketing, things like that. But that's just one, those are just some examples, of finding people. A lot of people don't use LinkedIn, and I think LinkedIn is excellent. So then, let's see, George, I'm looking at, okay, so Andrina from Texas, she always asks questions. She's a sweetheart. What have you seen in systems that are not duplicatable? Okay, systems that are not duplicatable. That's a good question. How about right now? How about if you were reliant on doing venue meetings, taking your prospects to venue meetings, to a hotel, wherever you did meetings, and there was always a presenter always doing that, and you always counted on that presenter to be there, right? Now we have COVID-19. Is that duplicatable? No, it's not. And so systems are duplicatable if it's a simple system. If it's a simple system. Simple systems only require a few steps. Just a few steps, and that's it. If it's more than 3 or 4 steps, it's complicated. So anything that has deviated from that, I would say, is not duplicatable. But again, when COVID-19 is over and you resume your meetings, fine. But the game has changed now, hasn't it? It has changed. And we have to change and adjust. And yet I've seen so many leaders do this. And they've done it in such a wonderful way. And as unbelievable as it would seem to someone outside the network marketing world, who lives in a world where they're dependent on jobs and all that, and everything is shut down, and now they're trying to salvage the economy. And here, network marketing companies are just like skyrocketing. So many are doing so well. I know we had an incredible month in March, and I can see that we got a great month in April going on. So the systems that are not duplicatable are more reliant on a person, and that's what doesn't work. And a lot of that is ego driven, because the person wants to be needed. And then let me see, from Paraguay, the question is, and this is Eva in Paraguay, the country of Paraguay: should I create a YouTube channel to promote my company by name? You don't need to promote your company by name, because your company probably has its own YouTube channel. Maybe they don't, but possibly they do. Here's what I would encourage you: start promoting Eva by name. You Inc. Okay? That's right. Listen, you want people to buy into you, not buy into your company. Of course, your company's important. I get, but what I'm saying is, if they join because of you, you're going to have those people for a long time. If they join because of your company, then you don't have any influence. Chances are you could lose that person down the road. And you don't want that to happen. So, and this may not be comfortable for you. That's okay. Be uncomfortable. Being uncomfortable is good, because it makes you grow. It'll make you do things you never did before. And when was it the last time that you did something for the first time? And if that is one of these, I've never done a YouTube channel, then do it. Lights, camera, action. It's Eva! And that's the way all of you need to be. Here's the thing. You'll notice that when I finish every Facebook Live call that I do, I take that video, or George does, and he downloads it to YouTube. Why? To preserve it. To preserve that video. And also, when people do a Google search on that particular subject, then the video comes up. So, again, you do the work once, but people continue to look at it. So I say, start doing your own YouTube. Your company doesn't need you to advertise, okay? You need to promote yourself. You need to brand yourself. Branding yourself means part of this is YouTube, and then you're going to talk about those things that you're passionate about in life. You'll attract your own tribe because of your own vibe. And then let's see, Andres from the country of Colombia says, can we implement drop shipping in our network marketing? Can we implement drop shipping in our network marketing? Okay, I'm not familiar with the country of Colombia, how your system is. Maybe you have product centers that you go and pick up products. So that's something that you're going to have to talk to your office about in Colombia, in your company's office about, and just ask them that question, because that's for them to answer. Let me see. Then we have Alexis in Cebu, Philippines. Nice to see you, Alexis. Is it important to build a rapport when doing prospecting? What's your thoughts on cold messaging? Yeah. Obviously that, again, why people do so well in warm market when they start their network marketing business is they have influence with that person, because there's a relationship, there's a history, there's a trust. Matter of fact, we call this trust marketing, right? But when you don't know that person, you haven't made any deposits into the relationship, making the withdrawals when there are no deposits is a challenge, right? Doesn't mean it can't be done. But I think, I heard Angel Fletcher one time say, and I laughed when she said it, when she talked about prospecting and all that, she says, listen, if you're going to date a girl and you met her just for the first time and you just said, hey, let's just get on with it, okay? Come on. How's that going to go? Not too good. You have to build a relationship. But hopefully it's not as complicated here. I would say that build some rapport if you can. I mean, if you find that you are getting results by just messaging out and seeing if somebody's open to a business opportunity and they say yes, and you send the video and you're getting results from that, keep doing it. If you find that you're not getting the results, then you might want to adjust it and say, you know what, I think I need to make some deposits. I need to build some rapport, not endless rapport. And you don't want this thing going on for months, okay? You could do it within the same month. Let's say the first week of the month, you've reached out to maybe a lot of people and engaged with them to build that rapport, but your goal is by the end of the month to say, hey, I have something I'd like for you to look at. I mean, I think you're a person that is sharp. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders, and I would love it if you would look at this business opportunity that I'm involved in, or you may not want to use the word opportunity, this business that I'm involved in. I've just increased my business, and now I'm ready to take on a new leader, and you've impressed me. Are you open to taking a look at this? And if you're not, that's okay. Just give them a way out, and they'll respect you for it, and see how that works for you. And so that's, I think, George, is that it? I think no one else on this Friday night, and George sends me something. That's just like George to do something like that. This is Anna from Argentina, from the country of Argentina. She said, should I send my business presentation video in advance before the scheduled Zoom call, which they know is going to be about business and making money? Yes, you can do that. It's okay. It really is okay. If the Zoom meeting is going to be with the assumption that the person getting on the Zoom call has some prior knowledge of your company and opportunity, yes, it's going to be very important that you send that video first. If the Zoom call is basically a presentation, you're welcome, Alexis. If the Zoom call is a presentation, like a live meeting, it's not necessary to send that video. Yeah, because that's the reason why you're inviting them on the Zoom call. And again, if you're going to do it that way, then just say, listen, I'm going to invite you into a special presentation, but it's limited. So I can only bring a few people with me, and I want you to be one of them. That would make that person feel special, and they would most likely stay on that call, hopefully if it's not too long, to see the entire presentation, and then you're going to get a better response that way. Make them feel special. It's all that VIP treatment that people, they love that kind of stuff, right? And it's important. So it's been fun being here with you guys tonight. Man, so it's a weekend, and keep in mind, with this weekend, you got this window of time. Remember, I've been saying this for weeks, that people are home and people have nothing but time. You are home, you have nothing but time. That's a window of time that will diminish, it will go away. But while they're home, and in the past you've had challenge finding them and talking to them, this is the time. And you remember the girl that's staying at my house that I met at a Tony Robbins event. She took advantage of that time in China. She did Zoom calls from my house back to China, built a team of 165 distributors in 12 days, and has never been in network marketing before. She took advantage of that window of time. You still have this window. So take advantage of it. I know the state of Tennessee are going to open up their businesses, and that's going to be in May 1st. Different states are going to do it at different times. based on their governors and their decisions. So, so the thing about it is, take advantage of this time. And I'll tell you what, even when they do open up the businesses, it's not going to just fall back to normal quickly, okay? You still even have this window longer than you think. But take advantage of that time. So hustle, man, hustle. Make hay while the sun shines. That's what we say in the South. And that's what you got to do. And that's what I did. When I started 21 years ago, in 90 days, starting from zero, didn't bring a downline in, had to start all over again. I had 800 distributors in my team. And that was in 90 days. And that was focus. That was the 90-day plan I ran on. As a matter of fact, it's in my book, Reaching the Peak. That talks about that little circle. I have my 90-day plan in the book. But anyway, Reaching the Peak, the foreword on that book is written by Ray Higdon. And Ray just wrote, I didn't even know what he was going to write, such a nice guy. Anyway, but yeah, you got this window, hustle while you got this window. So listen, you guys have a great weekend, and find value and gratitude every day when you wake up. I mean, I know that some of you are, it's not easy. I know some that are on this call that are living in, you're living in high rises in Manila, Philippines, and you're quarantined into an apartment or a condo, and that's not easy. That's really tough. I can move around here. I was out feeding, well, I shouldn't say that. I was out watching a bear eat earlier in my yard. Big old black bear. Anyway, so I get out of the house, I get in the yard, I get in my gardens, my rose gardens. They're incredible right now. And so it's just beautiful time of year, spring, and how everything is. But I understand some of you guys can't get out. So don't lose it, okay? Keep it together. Like I said, if some of you got to order a rebounder from Amazon and then get some free weights so that you can keep yourselves, put in a DVD and exercise, that's going to be that'll relieve a lot of stress, and it'll have a better impact on your emotions when you do that. So just deal with it, okay? Really, you can do it. And then, like I said, get a strong dose of Anthony Robbins, okay? And work on your mindset. Stay positive. Always find good. No matter how bad it seems, find good, find gratitude in everything that you have. And you have a lot to be thankful for. So have a great weekend, and I'll give you a shout out this weekend. I'll put out some value this weekend for sure. Thanks for joining tonight.